To my black people from all over the world, once again, welcome to Africa Renaissance channel. And my black people, today I want us to discuss the Western Cape.
We are now going to get a referendum so that we can vote for an independent Western Cape, the Cape we've always wanted, to secede from the rest of South Africa so that we can do this for our future generations, not only for ourselves, so that our children who live abroad can come back and get jobs, and their children can get the best education, the best health system, electricity, water, you name it, we're going to supply it. So we ask everybody, please vote for a referendum. Vote for the referendum party.
And the Western Cape is a province in South Africa. And the Western Cape is known for its beauty and also in its wealth in flora and fauna. And my people, the reason why I want us to discuss about the Western Cape is that there has been very many proposals, by the white people who live in the province, that there be a referendum so that Western Cape secedes and ceases to be part of South Africa. And my people, before making this video, I did my research on the population statistics by race in West Cape province. And what I found out is that 42% of the population in Western Cape happens to be Karats, 39% of the population happens to be black people, and 16% of the population in Western Cape happens to be that of the white people. And so, my black people, what I would like to say is that in case there is a referendum, I expect the Karad people to throw their weight behind the white people in Western Cape, And this is because I don't expect the Carib people to like to be associated with, the black people. And so I expect if we come to the point of a referendum, I expect the referendum to pass, because if you add the population of black people, the population of white people, which is 16%, and that of Karads, which is, 42%, of course, it outweighs the population of the black people in West Cape province. So what I would like to say is that the black people in South Africa, as well as politicians in South Africa, have to do whatever they can to make sure that there is no referendum on the secession of Western Cape from South Africa. And another thing that politicians in South Africa have to do is ensuring that there is expropriation of land, because one of the reasons why the population of black people in Western Cape is low, one of the reasons why the population of black people is at that 9% is because of the issue of land. If we have land expropriation, and this is where the land is subdivided, and given back to black people, because after all, this is land that belonged to the ancestors of the black people, automatically there has to be, an immigration of black people to West Cape province, and that is going to alter the demographics of the province. That said, my people, what I would like to say to the black people is that even if the population might not be very high in Western Cape, what they must remember is that the Western Cape is the land of the ancestors, and it must never be ceded under any circumstances, And I would like to warn South Africa politicians, to be firm on this issue and make sure that Western Cape remains to be part of South Africa. Because if Western Cape succeeds to become an independent state, I foresee various scenarios which are going to be, very difficult, for the black people in South Africa. And one of the possibilities is that if indeed Western Cape secedes, what is going to happen is that it is going to become an Israel in the Africa continent. So what this means is that the Western Cape is going to be armed with nuclear and atomic bombs, by the Western states. And obviously, this will mean that retaking the RAD militarily, will be out of the cards for South Africans, black South Africans. It will be impossible for them, to recover back the territories that will be lost to the Western Cape. And the other aspect is about the visa. So what I can foresee is that the Western Cape is going to introduce, a visa process that will be discriminatory against the black people of South Africa. And this is obviously in the same manner as to what happens in European countries, where you find that they have a discriminatory visa process where Africans are not given easy access, to Western countries. The same is going to happen to South Africa. And black South Africans will not be allowed, to access the Western Cape. But populations from Western countries are going to be, easily allowed to access the Western Cape. And the other factor is that the Western Cape, if allowed to secede, it is likely to build a very strong military, And what this military will do is that they will continue taking up more, accumulating more lands belonging to the black people based on flimsy excuses, And this is exactly the same thing that happens in Israel, where they keep on taking land belonging to Palestinians, So if you're not careful and we reach a situation where we allow the Western Cape to secede, of course they are going to keep on adding, the RADs from the neighboring provinces. And before we know it, black South Africans might end up losing a lot of RADs to, this new country, by the name of Western Cape. Well, that's all I have for today. Goodbye.